Hi, welcome. I'm Coach Christian, and I help extremely stressed people to deal with their stress by observing it for themselves. Thank you very much for being here. So, I usually publish videos every single day that provide you with a tool that you can use to deal with a stressful situation that may arise in your life or is arising right now. Now, if it turns out that you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. Ding, 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 ding. This will make sure that you are alerted every single time when I publish a new video. All right, so today we're going to be answering a question, the question of the day. Now, if you have a question that you'd like me to answer, please put it in the comment section below, and make sure to write. I want to know what you're thinking. That way, I can always make videos that are fit and are perfectly customized to fit your reality. Right? I'm making these videos for you. All right. Now that we have that out of the way, let us now go into the question of the day. Coach Christian, I'm not making as much progress as I want to. Coach Christian, I'm not making as much progress as I want to in my career. I often feel like I'm progressing too slow and might never achieve my goal. How do I deal with this fear of never rising to the top? Coach Christian, I am not making as much progress as I want to in my career. I often feel like I am progressing too slow and might never achieve my goal. How do I deal with this fear of never rising to the top? So this is certainly something that I can identify with, right? There's these things I want to achieve, right, at some point in the future. There's these goals I have, maybe for the company Observe. For you, it might be, I don't know, maybe you're a student, so your goals are maybe a particular grade, or it may be that you want to get a certain position after maybe finishing your PhD program, want to get a certain faculty position, or you're working at an organization and you want to rise to the top, right? Or maybe just you always had some dream, right? And your dream maybe felt or seemed unrealistic to most people, and it seemed too big for you, right? And maybe you've been very much off track with this dream, and now you have this fear or maybe even you might be on track. You might be doing what you can to achieve this dream or big goal that you've set for yourself, but you're beginning to wonder whether you'll ever achieve it, right? Because it's taking time to get there, and it might even feel like you're not making any progress, right? So this is something I totally understand. The question is how to deal with it. So I mean, there's a certain proverb that says that, I think it comes from the yogis, and the idea is, if you have one eye fixed upon the goal, right? One eye is fixed upon the goal, then you only have one eye left to look at the path that you're taking. And so you're not fully focused. You don't have your two eyes at your disposal to do what it takes to get to where you're trying to get. Right? So what are we saying here? Don't have any goals? No. Or don't focus on your goals? No. Um, all we're saying is that is it possible? This is the question. Is it possible to have a goal but still focus on the path to the goal? Right? So I mean, most of the time when you say you're goal oriented, focused on your goal, right? I mean, most of the time, probably what's happening is you're just worrying about it. Will I ever achieve it? Will I ever get that promotion? Will this business ever succeed? This is mostly worrying. This is not really focusing on the goal. Um, or what if it fails? Right? That's not even being goal oriented. Right? So let's look at it carefully. The goal or the dream is important. It's like your target, right? Obviously, you can't hit a target that you can't see. Or if you hit it, it's going to be accidental, right? And you don't want to live your life accidentally. So, I mean, the basic observation is that if I want to get to a location, it's necessary to know what the location is. Okay, that's obvious. However, the only way to I'll ever get to that destination is by taking this step, right? If I don't take this step, how will I be able to take the next one, right? I first have to take the first step, and only after I've taken the first step can I take the second. Only after I've taken the second can I take the third, right? So the goal is important, right? And we want it to be as clear as possible, right? So firstly, maybe that's the first thing I would check. Is your goal clear? Do you really know what you want, right? And it might be shocking. It's not obvious, right? Maybe you could just have a goal as simple as, hey, I want to be great, okay? I want to be great, or I want to be the top person at my company, or I want to start a successful business. Have you taken the time to wonder, what does success mean to you? What kind of business would you need to have to be successful? Does success mean fame? Does success mean a certain number of followers? Does success mean a certain amount of money? If so, how much money? Are you measuring success in terms of impact? If so, what is impact and how many people? You want to be as specific as possible, right? And so, because if you're not clear about this, about what you want, then obviously you're not going to get it. Right? So once you have a clear goal, now there is this fear, right? Um, because now, I mean, usually a goal is something you don't have, right? So there's the fear that can come up. Hey, will I ever achieve this goal? Will I ever realize this dream? So then the question is, what do I do about this fear, right? What do I do with it? Well, let's look at the fear itself. Why are you afraid, right? Why do you have this fear that you'll never achieve your goal? Fear comes from the imagination of a future, right? Of a dangerous future or an undesirable future, right? So when you're afraid that you might never achieve your goal, right? Maybe you've already thought up some consequence, right? Like for example, if I don't rise in my career, or if this business doesn't succeed, then what's going to happen? People are going to laugh at me, right? Now I'm afraid of the laughter, right? So that's the first thing again to be clear about, right? Want to observe what is it that what is it that I'm afraid of, right? It's not really not realizing the goal. It's the feeling, right? The emotion that I will get as a result of not realizing my goal. For instance, if the business never succeeds, people are going to laugh at me. But I'm not really worried about people laughing at me. I'm really worried about the feeling I will have, the bad feeling of embarrassment I will have as a result of people laughing at me. Or maybe if the business doesn't succeed, if I don't achieve the goal, I'll have proved my father right that I will always be a loser. But it's not really about proving your father right that's worrying you. It's the feeling that results from that. So the first realization is that what you're afraid of is really a feeling, an imagined feeling. You really have no idea how you'll feel at that moment. Have you ever been in a situation before where, I mean, that's such a terrible situation and you should be miserable, but you're laughing, right? I mean, my brother described something that happened once where I think they were in a situation where they were totally broke, didn't have any food, right? And they didn't know really where the next meal was going to come from. So they should have been miserable, but they were busy laughing at their own situation, right? This is really unpredictable because this is a bad situation. You should be sad. You should be miserable, right? So now you're imagining what will happen if you don't achieve your goal. And you're imagining how you will feel as a result of that. But you really don't know how you will feel as a result of it, right? And there's probably even the feeling that if you fail to realize your dream, you won't be able to handle it. But you see, one thing at least that life has taught you over time, one thing that if you pay a bit of attention, if you observe, you'll realize that in your life you've had many events, many sad events, many down moments, and yet you always found a way to adapt. This is one of the powers of the human being, is that we can adapt to very many situations, right? You take away my job, I'll find something else. You take away my house, well, I'll figure out a way to be homeless, etc. Right? So we always find a way to adapt. This is one of the realities. Our ability to adapt is very powerful, right? So the thing with the fear state, when you're having this fear of this future, here's what happens when you're afraid, right? So again, if you've ever listened to any of the stuff I say, is emotions like fear are stupid states. When I say stupid, I mean that they are a state of low intelligence. When you are afraid, please pay attention. Don't believe me. Just find out if what I'm saying is true. One day, when you're afraid, notice the kinds of thoughts you have, right? Because your state conditions the kinds of thoughts you have. When you're afraid, that you will find out that what happens is you tend to overestimate risks and underestimate possibilities. What if, uh, what if I go ahead and follow this career and it fails, and my life would be over, and I won't be able to look anyone else, look my parents in the face, and I mean, I'll be a total failure. I'll have proved them all right. You see, these are all thoughts that come from fear. And as you can notice, they're all exaggerating how bad things will be. You're rarely even focusing on the possibilities, right? What if the business fails? What if the career fails? What if you never get promoted? What possibilities will that open up? When you're in this state of fear, you don't even think about those things. You only think about exaggerating what could go wrong and how bad it will be and how you'll be unable to adapt to it. So these are all things to look at. And in terms of a practical thing, what practical thing can I do when I experience fear? Well, this is simple, right? So when you experience the fear, notice that it's just a temporary state, right? Name one state that you're in permanently. There's no such state. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're afraid, sometimes you're angry, etc. So when you experience the fear, note that it's not going to be everlasting. If you pay attention to it, you'll realize that it's really just certain thoughts and a certain sensation in your body, and it's temporary, right? If you just sit down, keep your back straight, close your eyes, and observe the fearful thought and feel the fear in your body, one thing is that the fear will have less control over you, right? Over time, the fear will have less and less control over you. And the funny thing is that when you sit there, after a while, the fear will subside and you'll turn into another state. It might be a peaceful state, joyful state, right? So basically, one of the things you learn just by observation is that you don't really have to take the fear so seriously. It's not necessary to take the fear so seriously. It's like it's a pop-up. It comes up and it goes, right? You don't necessarily have to do what the fear is telling you to do. All right, we've gone on a bit too long in this video. So again, if you liked the ideas shared here and you'd like to learn more, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe, right, and hit the bell notification. Ding, ding, ding. You'll be notified whenever I publish another video that will be of value to you, right? Because I publish these videos every single day. All right. And if you have a question, of course, please go to the comment section below and ask the question. Ask the question, comment on the video. That way I know what you're thinking. And you never know, I may actually feature your question on an upcoming video. Now, if you like the ideas I've been sharing about observation and dealing with stress, then just go to and you would like to learn more, then just go to the description of this video below. There's a link to what I call the Observe approach. Click on that and this will give you free and instant access to a simple but very powerful method that you can apply immediately to deal with any problem that is stressing you out. Okay, and then there's something else though. So if you're at a low point right now and you feel that your life sucks, right? Because you're in such extreme stress, then for a limited time off only, I'm offering a free My Life Sucks coaching session. In this coaching session, you'll get a crystal clear vision of the life you want. We'll figure out precisely what is making your life suck, and you leave the session renewed, re energized, and confident in your ability to transform your own life. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching this video, and catch you on the next one. Bye.